Hi guys, this is my review of Jupiter's Legacy, episode 1, and I'm just basically giving you the reason why you should go watch the show like right now. Just stop what you're doing and watch it right now, because this show's awesome. Like, it's everything that the Justice League movies have been trying to do, but I mean this has just done it straight away. I mean it's just done it. It's already like from the first episode. I'm just like I'm sold into this show. I mean, does it have potential to be better than the boys? Maybe, especially from that ending. I mean, yeah, we'll get to that. And now, I guess I'm just going to give a few things of why you should watch the show. Then I guess the rest of the review will be spoilers, but I'll let you know because you definitely need to check out this. Yeah, you definitely need to check out the show, man. Yeah, it's awesome. Definitely going to be an epic show. Because right now I'm watching Doom Patrol and I'm going to review that. But yeah, I still prefer the boys over Doom Patrol, but it's still a good show. But Jupiter's Legacy, man, it already has a high chance of being better than the boys. But yeah, we'll just see going forward as I watch the entire season. But yeah, definitely recommend it. Definitely has a great story that is very intriguing because basically Jupiter's Legacy is about like Jupiter trying to raise these kids to continue his legacy, but it seems like he's not gonna be able to do it. I mean, he basically chose his son to be the one to continue his legacy when the father passes away. But I guess he's not really proper living up to that legacy, and I guess the dad's a bit frustrated about that. And then the daughter, who he turned away to having a legacy, like she's just gone down a bad path. Then he has his wife, which is still good with. I guess is that his brother? Uh, is that his brother, or just a long time friend who he used to work with? Because Jupiter's been like alive for like over 120 years, maybe longer, because he's been a superhero for that long as well. So yeah, he's lived a long life, and he just wants to make sure that he has a legacy before he passes on. And he still even saves the world, whatever age he is, because I haven't read the comics, but after this one episode, I literally didn't want to go read the comics after season 1. But then I might be expecting the stuff, but who knows? They might change things in the TV show, so I'm reading the comic. I'm gonna do it definitely. Yeah, because it has some very interesting viewpoints as well. With because it kind of blends the real world stuff with, I guess, it's fictional stuff, and it just goes so well. I've never seen a show do that so perfectly. I mean, when it comes to movies, blending the real world with fictional stuff like this, I'd say The Watchmen has probably done that the best. I mean, The Boys has done a good job with that, but The Watchmen is still like the best to me when it comes to that stuff with what they did. Yeah, and one day I might review The Watchmen because that's one of my favorite movies of all time. Definitely, I haven't watched the TV show yet, so maybe in the future I'll check that out. But yeah, so before I talk about spoilers, yeah, I definitely recommend you watch the show now, especially if you're looking for a new show to watch on Netflix. I definitely recommend it because it's definitely not a cliche superhero show. Like, this is definitely something you need to check out. And yeah, I guess I'll start talking about spoilers now. Oh, that was just the guy who was going to help on GTA, but yeah, guess he'll play tomorrow. Alright, so I'm going to start talking about spoilers in 3, 2, 1. So yeah, I'm going to talk about spoilers now. So the show basically starts off with the son trying to stop a bank robbery because it seems like it's just some people in like, I guess, these ape disguises trying to rob a bank, but then someone with, I guess, powers instead comes and tries to rob the bank. But that's when, I guess, Jupiter's son comes to save the day. But his dad doesn't really view him as ready to actually be able to take on these kind of villains that are that powerful. So he does get beat up by this villain who tries to rob these robbers. Yeah. But then thankfully the dad comes and, saves him. And the dad kind of gets a bit mad at him that he didn't really call back up. I mean, I did kind of miss a scene in the beginning where we see the son and the daughter as little kids. And I guess the daughter, as a little girl, just, she got angry easily. So she accidentally uses her powers on, other kids. And that probably like scared him away from ever playing with her. Yeah. Because they were just like playing some game, like just pretending to be superheroes. But then I guess she took it too seriously, just because the kids were kind of cheating. But yeah, then the dad comes to to tell them how they should be as a hero, and not to hurt people because even if they're villains, you still don't hurt them. Like kill them, because she has like some kind of scream power. I don't really know her full powers. It seems like she can fly as well. Yeah. And then the son, he can fly too. I don't know if he has like any super strength. I don't really know all his powers yet. Because I feel like they kind of focused more on setting the tone than introducing characters properly. And they definitely made the right choice, focusing on the tone of the show. Like, because if they didn't, build it up properly, like, I probably wouldn't even be making this review so early. I'd probably wait a little bit before I'd make this review, like, watch the entire season. But from that first episode, I'm amazed how good the show is. Yeah. Yeah, this one just feels like he isn't really gonna live up the legacy that his father wants him to, take over. And just that thing that he said to to his son, that he's not going to be able to actually hold this legacy, is just I keep saying legacy a lot. It just gets to him basically, and especially when he's talking to his uncle. I mean, it does count as his uncle, right? Even if it's Jupiter's friend. Yeah. Because basically in the past, I guess this was like the 1920s, like late 1920s. I think it was around the time of the Great Depression. Because yeah, back then, that's when they knew each other, like Jupiter and I guess his friend or brother. I can't remember if they addressed that was actually his brother or not, because they used to work together in this company, and then the dad, they basically they worked all together as a family with their business. And when the Great Depression came, like, yeah, let's just say, because basically they was kind of arguing like what's the right way to run the business, and it seems like I guess the brother or friend was actually right, because the Great Depression kind of came around and messed up the entire business. Like, just the stock market just collapsed. Like just like what happened in real life, because this show kind of blends real life stuff with this fictional stuff, and it just goes so well. And what the dad does when he finds out how one he was, and he just felt like everything that he built was all for nothing, and just everything that how it ended, he just decided to take his own life. And yeah, just like Jupiter was probably like really upset in that moment, man. I can't imagine how he probably recovered. So yeah, this scene, this is where they kind of like, I guess, I don't know if it is his brother or not. I don't know if this is Jupiter's brother on the left, but yeah, they basically discuss about like everything that's happened in these last 100 plus years. Like, they kind of talk about all of these known events in real life, like these big events like World War II, the Holocaust, everything, all those things that they could have took part in and actually had a big impact in. But because Jupiter has a code, and he doesn't want to go against that code, because maybe he would eventually become like just as bad as those things that happened in the world. Kind of like with Injustice with Superman, like how he just became a tyrant and was just ruling everyone, and then started killing superheroes as well. Yeah. And I guess the guy on the left, who used to be on their team, because this was like the whole squad in Jupiter's team, because his wife is also a part of his squad as well. Yeah, because they kind of talk about meeting celebrities and stuff, like, because they've been alive for a long time. Yeah. But yeah, the guy on the left, I guess he betrayed the team and became a terrorist. I mean, I don't really know what he's done, because this is the first episode, and I just don't know if they like address more on what happened earlier on, because this is just like world building right now, so we don't even know everything that's actually happened in the entire show. Yeah, they're just kind of reflecting on every choice that they've made, and how I guess the brother or I just don't know what to call him, man. I mean, I'm gonna watch the second episode probably straight away after this review, so yeah. But yeah, basically, he has like a different viewpoint. Like, maybe because the world has changed, like there is kind of a bigger gap, and he kind of views free will as making this huge gap to happen, and what it's doing to the world. And like, he's basically saying if they stepped in and actually did more to stop these things from happening, maybe it would change the world. But would it be for the better or for the worse? Like, the show does, like, even from the first episode, it already feels like complex and stuff. So that's what's already got me hooked. Yeah. And man, what we're doing with the son. Also, that guy who breaks out of prison. Yeah, that supervillain who just reminds me of Darkseid. Oh, we got to talk about that scene. All right, so basically, when they're trying to stop this guy, which, man, that fight scene where we just see all the superheroes fighting each other, like, this was everything I always wanted in the DC universe, and we never truly got it. I mean, I still haven't seen the Syndicate yet, so I need to watch that soon. But man, just from this first episode, they gave us something that we always wanted in the Syndicate. I mean, in the DC universe this whole time. I mean, we probably finally would. I mean, I haven't watched it yet, but I feel like we probably would have got it by now because I haven't watched the movie yet. But I mean, people have said good things, so it must be on this level by now because this show was able to do that in just like one episode compared to DC taking forever to finally get it right. Like from 2013 to now, like they took that long, but this show just does it in like one episode. Just give us such a spectacular thing, like literally bringing a comic book and epic moments to life, like such a big scale from the first episode, man. It's insane. And man, some of these superheroes who are fighting this big villain do die as well. And it gets to a point where the villain looks like he's gonna win too. So yeah, I'm probably gonna talk about that big moment. Yeah, because basically when all the heroes are coming to stop this villain, because Jupiter and just everyone's there, just trying to stop this villain because man, he seems like dark side level strong. And it seems like he was going to do some nuclear attack that would, probably kill so many people. Maybe not just these superheroes, but I don't even know how big the blast would actually be. Yeah. So the son kind of decides to do something because it seems like even his mom, like dad, uncle, like they was all gonna die, but he decides to do something that a lot of fans who've watched Man of Steel don't really like. What Superman actually did, but it's because he's Superman and he always had the code to never kill people. Like he was like probably like the best example as a superhero, and when he spoiler for Man of Steel, if you somehow still haven't watched that yet, he kills Zod because he didn't really have a choice. And that just shocked so many people and kind of put people off straight away, some people anyway, off this version of Superman. And this is what this son does, but I mean, they're kind of setting up this world right now, and it's very complex and stuff. So it kind of fits for this show what the son just decides to do. But then, man, if Homelander had this on, like he'd be so proud compared to the one in the boys. Like I feel like Jupiter would want the one in the boys more than the son that he actually has right now. It's like if they were switched, if you know what I'm trying to say. If you've watched the boys, yeah, because this is the kind of son that Homelander would want. Willing to actually kill the villains. Because the Jupiter kind of lives by a code, and since the son just literally destroyed that code for what he just did, man. I mean, he didn't really have a choice. Like, what if this villain actually completed his nuclear attack and killed everyone? I mean, he basically took a life to save way more lives. And it's kind of like a similar situation with Man of Steel ending, but bigger scale. Yeah, because you could see that Superman was upset with what he had to do. Like he didn't want to kill Zod, but he didn't give him a choice. Otherwise, innocent people was gonna die. But yeah, but the son, like, he was just like, I didn't have a choice, man. And the dad was just mad at that because earlier on when we were at the dinner scene with all the family, like, man, the way how the daughter turned out, like she's just a alcoholic and stuff, man. And she kind of feels sorry for the son having to live up to this legacy because he was chosen to live up to it, and what it's probably like doing to him, and how the dad's just treated him, probably like both of them really. So it's getting him a bit mixed up inside of his head. So when he decides to kill the villain, like that's just everything that he's raised him. It's basically led him to make a choice like that instead of trying to find another way. And when Jupiter's trying to explain, like, maybe you could send him up to space or something. I mean, I don't know if the sun's that strong anyway, and it seems like everyone was at their limits at that point. So maybe there wasn't really another option. But yeah, it's just all the things they were saying, like what he could have did, the son. I mean, this is not a comic book. This is it just like it actually feels like, man, this is real life. Like you can't, like, in the moment, like what would you do? Like if he was actually a superhero and this guy was about to kill your whole family and probably the whole city, would you be willing to kill the villain to stop it if there was no other option? And that's what he decided to do. So I guess I do agree with his decision, but if his father actually raised him better and, I guess trained him better, because he does, I guess the father does train him, but yeah, maybe things would have went differently. Maybe he would have found another way to, stop his villain. But yeah, I mean, it's the way how he's raised his son, and I guess that's how, things turned out in the end with what he decides to do in, at the end of the episode. That's my review of Jupiter's Legacy, episode 1. I mean, I don't know if I'm gonna just review episode by episode, or maybe watch a bunch of episodes, then like maybe do a combined review, kind of what I'm gonna be doing with, when I finally get back to The Walking Dead World Beyond, because I wasn't enjoying that show. So when I do get back to it, like maybe after Fear, I'll just do like 2 to 3 episodes reviewed together. Yeah, I feel like I'll do it like that. And with this show, maybe, I don't know. I just don't know how I'm going to do it yet, but I'll let you guys know eventually. Yeah. But yep, that's my review of Jupiter Legacy. Definitely a great start. Like, I highly recommend this show. You need to watch it now because it's awesome. But yeah, guys, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.
One look, the heat is rising, and I've been cold for so long. One touch and we're igniting.